They're getting drunk. They're getting drunk. They're a bunch of idiots getting drunk, talking about conspiracy theories. They're getting drunk. There's really not much more to it than that. You're listening to Drunk Theory.
Welcome to Drunk Theory. I'm Kara.
I'm Kelly.
Ryan.
Matthew.
And today we are talking about dairy conspiracies, and that is thanks to Zace Face. He was our 5,000th Twitter follower, so he got to pick tonight's episode and tonight's drink. Go find him. He's on Twitter at ZACEFAC, or you can find him on YouTube at Yo Zace Face. Apparently he's a gamer or whatever. He's got 152,000 subscribers, so he's like famous or whatever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right? Like, the fuck? But he was our 5,000th Twitter sub, and he fucking wins. I do feel like he was trying to stump us when he said dairy. I guess he did not realize that white Russians were a thing.
Right.
And
also that there is so much.
There is so much fucking weird dairy
Also, he
shit.
didn't spell it, so, Derry, the town from every Stephen King book ever.
Well, no, he did. He wrote
conspiracy.
D-A-R-Y.
Ah, shit.
So.
I thought you just said it.
Yeah.
My bad. I did not know. I thought you just said it.
We're not doing it.
I was not aware.
Conspiracies. I'm sorry, but
That's not
Stephen
right.
King
so
wrote
tonight-
the book about trucks that come to life.
Maximum Overdrive, son.
Yes.
Actually,
That was amazing.
when it starts shooting the Pepsi cans and the guy gets hit in the balls, that's my favorite.
Yeah, I know, right?
But
We're
okay,
at the baseball game.
so tonight we are doing dairy conspiracies thanks to Zace Face. Thank you so much. We love it.
I feel like it's Zache.
No.
Zache Fache?
Well, from now on, we're just through the rest of the episode, we're calling you Zace Face.
That's what you get.
That works for me.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. So, dairy conspiracies. Kelly, what are we drinking?
We're drinking White Russians. So for this drink, it's super simple. Got an ounce and a half of vodka, 3/4 ounces of coffee liqueur, usually Kahlua, and then you've got 3/4 ounces of heavy whipping cream, or if you're lactose intolerant, something like a silk cream. Pour that shit on the rocks glass, stir it up. Everything is lovely.
I don't know who ever invented White Russians, but they need to be fucking slapped, because that's who wants to add milk and alcohol together.
That's what I was about to say.
It's
Like,
kind of
I mean-
lovely though.
they're fucking delicious, but I
They are
dread tomorrow.
They are delicious.
I think I've had 3. I'm about to just switch to straight up vodka
The
shots.
shit is
Alcoholic weightlifter that needed the protein.
delicious. And
Fight milk!
What's more Russian than an alcoholic weight trainer that Slav squats?
I don't know.
That's the whole thing.
But there is an
Right.
alternative if you just want to not do.
So the Black Russian, you can have a Black Russian if you just want to
what's in that?
eliminate the cream.
So it's pretty much the same thing she just
It's-
said.
Everything
It's
without
vodka
the milk.
with your coffee liqueur.
So that's just. Yeah, and that sounds Russian
Bunch
as
of alcohol.
fuck, right?
Yeah,
So,
that does
sounds
sound
like
more
what
Russian
Russians do.
somehow.
All right, so dairy conspiracies. Everybody got their research going.
Absolutely.
I've actually got 2.
Oh, that's fun.
Who wants to go first? Because my last one might end up being kind of long.
I can go first. I usually don't.
Oh,
Ryan's
cool,
gonna
Ryan.
go
I don't know that
first.
Ryan's ever going first.
I love
Yeah, I
it.
usually don't, and I
You're
I
gonna
did
pop
my
his cherry
research
on this
last minute. But
Popping Ryan's cherry over
I knew
here.
about this one, and I had been thinking about it. I knew there was a butter crisis that happened 10-ish years ago somewhere in Northern Europe. I thought it was Norway. It was Norway. 2011, Norway, which is in Northern Europe, everybody knows Norway, had just a huge demand for butter and had the biggest shortage just in their history. It was like a whole big thing. I thought Norway was bigger than it was. It is not very large.
Norway's
They have
little.
5.5 million people.
Yeah, Norway's
We're in South
little.
Carolina, which is a bumfuck little tiny state. We have 5.2 million people. So
We're
we're
bigger
roughly
than Norway.
No, we're smaller. They're 5.5, so not
Oh.
bigger. Don't say that.
Okay, my
We
bad.
all know numbers here. She just got it backwards. We're in South Carolina, roughly the same population as Norway, which is
That's wild.
big European country. Super huge butter shortage. Every dairy farmer in the country just getting blamed for this shit. They're blaming a company called Tine, Tine. They're the largest dairy producer in the country. Well, Tyne says, the bad summer weather fucked up all the pastures. It made all the dairy cattle not have good stuff to eat. They just were not producing right.
So they were shitting out bad butter?
Their
milk
production
was
just was not enough
was
out.
sour.
Yeah,
There you go.
but 20-30% of the production's down, and then the butter amount they need is way, way higher. Well, everybody else was like, well, what about all the politicians who put these high taxes on imported butter? That was mostly the big thing. If you were short, you could just, import some more. Well, if the imported butter is 3 times the price, what are you going to do? You start importing it illegally. $50 for a pack of butter.
Bootleg
Sorry,
butter?
not even $50. Sorry, 50 pounds, which at the time was much more dollars because pounds are usually more than dollars per ratio. So I'm sure a 50-pound thing of butter was like $70 back then in 2011, which is
I
ridiculous.
can't even imagine
For
what
like
50 pounds of butter would look
That's
like.
4 little
Prison
sticks.
for
That's
I
what,
traffic
half a
butter across the
pound?
border.
Half a pound of butter is 4 sticks. That's what be a little pack.
Holy shit.
That finally escalated, and a couple of guys trying to sneak in 250 kilograms of butter, which is roughly 2.2 pounds, 510-ish pounds or
That's
so.
a lot of butter.
That is a lot of butter. 520 pounds. I don't know why I said that.
That's like a crazy person's amount of butter.
Yeah, they were trying to smuggle it all in. They got arrested. I didn't actually look to see if they got time or not, but I'm sure they got probation or something, roughly.
There were some
But
consequences.
the fact that people got arrested
For butter, yeah.
for taking butter from one country to another is it's blowing my mind. And then I looked up the fact the next biggest state in in the United States is Minnesota. They have 5.7 million people.
Minnesota had 5
Minnesota has more people than Norway.
I thought
How is that
Minnesota
a
was like
thing?
farmland.
Does
and
Minnesota
like
have the
18
Northern Lights?
families.
No Aurora Borealis in Minnesota whatsoever. They got more people. I don't get that.
So are they producing
Is that
butter?
where the Mall of America is? Maybe
No,
that's what it is.
That's
Is that-
Indianapolis. Where's that?
Indiana.
Indiana. There you
Yeah.
go. That's right below Minnesota, basically. Kind
No,
of.
it's not.
It is not, is it?
That is
Minnesota.
not at all.
I thought
I'm usually good
Minnesota
at geography. I'm
And you
really
were way
drunk.
off on that.
No,
I can't even picture where it is on the map. I'm so
You
fucked
can
up
tell
right
me
now.
anything, and I wouldn't know. I don't.
I'm
know.
like
No
9 shots
states.
deep.
Indiana, directly beside or around Ohio.
Ohio is right what it's below. God damn it.
Well, what does Ohio do?
That's where the band's from that does Jenny says turn on the radio. What is that band? Jenny says turn on the lights. You remember that song?
No, I have no idea what that is.
What? Yeah, you do.
Don't Google it. What else you got for the?
That was it.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Just that Norway's butter.
It got finalized with
So I have a
someone
question.
getting arrested for importing 500 pounds of butter.
Is there like a
Or
thing?
smuggling.
Do you have to put, like cigarettes? You have to put stamps on them, right?
Because they tax them so much, yeah. That's why importing it
Does
illegally
butter have
is a thing.
stamps? Like if I go to Wisconsin, is there a Wisconsin stamp on the butter?
It depends on where.
Usually they advertise to tell you how good it is,
So,
yeah.
lean
Right?
in. Remember which
All
one
right,
it is.
yeah. So depending on where you're at, butter may or may not be taxed like tobacco.
So there's butter stamps?
Not butter.
Everything.
Not
is
butter
taxed.
stamps. that
Well,
I
I
know
know
of.
that everything is taxed, but so you're saying like it's taxed different than regular food?
Right. Yeah.
I went through a whole phase where I put fucking mayonnaise and everything. I put mayonnaise in
Mayonnaise
fucking
is
hamburgers.
delicious.
All right, but we won't go into that. Y'all can make fun of me later.
I do want to dive into that just a little bit. 'Cause,
Mayonnaise?
you know,
No, we're not going to dive into
we're talking mayonnaise right
we're
now.
diving
right?
into mayonnaise.
Just a quick little thing.
Hellman's.
You know, fuck Hellman's.
Yeah,
That was a
Dukes
joke, I
all
know.
day, bitch.
I was
You
joking.
know,
Yeah,
Dukes,
Dukes
is
is the
from
best.
around here. Right now, Dukes is having a summer competition type thing where you can win prizes. Saw an ad for it on Facebook or whatever. One of the prizes was some custom Converse All-Stars that were yellow and white and had the Dukes logo on.
I want those so bad. Holy shit.
I tried to buy them, but you can only win them.
Oh my God, what
I
do
do
you have
not
to
know
do
how
to
bad I
win?
want to win those. What do you have to
I
do?
didn't look.
I'm gonna
man.
look it up when we get home. I guarantee you, people.
Y'all, everybody who's
I will be
listening,
looking
enter
up.
us to win.
Yes. If you
Enter
win
drunk
them,
theory
please
for the
send them to
mayonnaise
me.
Converse.
If you send them to me, I will do a show one-on-one for 2 hours with you, and I will make one of these other drunk theory people join me. I don't care who it is. I'll duct tape them to a chair.
it won't be
They can
Kelly
have one of the
because
shoes that they want. We'll each
Kelly's
get one
like,
shoe.
yeah.
We'll each get one shoe.
Kelly
If the
cannot
person-
stand mayonnaise.
If the person who
Which doesn't
wins
eat
them
mayonnaise. You just have to
listens,
sit in a
I'll
chair
buy 'em.
and give me a shoe. That's really the gist of it. Sit in a chair, talk, give me the shoe.
Give me mayonnaise
That's all I
shoes.
care about. Mayonnaise shoes.
That's the name of this episode, by the way. Mayonnaise
Mayonnaise
shoes.
Duke boots.
Oh, those
Duke's
built
boots.
lemonade.
Mayonnaise shoes is better.
Mayonnaise shoes is better.
Mayonnaise shoes wins.
Fuck!
They're Converse aioli.
Nothing is going my way tonight.
But so let's let Kelly go next because I'm excited about Kelly's topic. Ryan, you're done though.
Oh
right?
yeah, I've been
Okay.
done. Yeah,
All right,
butter
let's let Kelly
crisis.
go.
It's done.
Yay! Alright. So, I am talking about things that are current events right now, which is different than what I usually do. I am talking about something that has been an article in BBC, in Al Jazeera, in the Indian Express. So what am I talking about? I am talking about Buttergate. So,
Buttergate. What year? Buttergate 2021?
Buttergate 2021. This shit is current events. It's happening right now. So, the thing that is going on right now is that in Canada, people say their butter is too hard. And they have noticed this because there has been a huge influx of people buying butter. Like, whereas everybody in America started a COVID podcast, everybody in Canada started to bake.
Oh, they were the crafty people that made bread.
Yeah, so they started to bake. So,
That's funny.
Are they saying that the butter is harder now than it used to be, or are they
Yes.
just now realizing that their butter
There's
is
con-
hard?
no,
There's
no, it's
contaminants in the
harder.
butter
No,
'cause
they're
it's
saying
harder
that.
now.
No, they're saying it's harder than it used to be. But
Bullshit in there.
science,
You ever heard of a microwave? I mean,
but science says, well, there is no record of hardness of butter, so we can't say.
of course, because people don't measure
Yeah,
that.
so we can't say that the butter is harder now than it used to be. But we can test some things about the butter. So scientists have done that. And scientists at the University of Guelph, they have done some
School of Butter Research.
No.
You know the
It's just a regular school,
you know the
and they.
press that presses everything down. If you have a pound measurement that squishes shit, if you do old butter and new butter, you can tell the difference in hardness. Then.
But old butter would always be harder because it's old butter.
Well, not if it's
Not
You would need a
necessarily.
time
not
machine.
that much older. I mean, it's
No,
just
no,
because it's
no.
bad doesn't mean it's that much harder.
You would
It's
need a
the
time
temperature,
machine.
really.
though. You can't. 5-year-old butter is just going to be harder.
No,
than...
you haven't heard of the bog butter they found from like 1,000 years ago that's so good? They found butter in a bog in Scotland and it was still good, a peat bog. I'm not crazy. That's a real
Mayonnaise
thing.
shoes, aka bog butter. That's the name of this episode.
I do want those shoes, by the way, so yes. Oh, we'll talk about bog butter if you want. Whatever. I'll discuss anything. I know about a bunch of bullshit. Bog butter is a real thing, by the way.
Hold
It
on, let's
happened.
let Kelly finish.
You finish.
Oh, Jesus.
Just be aware, bog butter, it happened. Buttergate 1400.
Buttergate. Alright.
Mayonnaise shoes. Okay.
Buttergate and mayonnaise shoes.
Keep going.
I remember where I was at.
And we're lost.
They were
sorry.
just super pissed that their shit is hard.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
just
yeah.
super-
They
they're
just
super
found out
pissed.
it's harder than it was.
Okay. Yeah. Alright. In Canada, they're mad. Their butter is hard. And apparently that is new. Like, it hasn't been hard before. That is new, like, just for this year. So, for the science, the University of Guelph says, we're gonna take this on and we're gonna look at it. We're gonna see if we can find something here. So what they did is they took 17 samples of butter that would be found in Canadian grocery stores. Like all different kinds, like grass-fed and organic and, all of the different kinds. So they took all the different kinds and they were going to do the test on them. So what they did is they took all of the 17 different types and they looked at the palmitic acid because that was a thing that everybody was concerned about. It's like, is that what's causing everything to be bad? So they looked at that, but they also looked at the hardness of everything.
Okay. So it says they found a weak correlation between. See, and I'm dumb though. I don't know what any of these words.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You're the science nerd.
Do you want me to read it?
No, I got.
Well, I mean, I can read it. I just don't know what the words mean, so I can't elaborate.
I know what the words mean. I got it. Okay.
All right, there you
Thank
go.
you, honey. I love you.
I love you more. There you go.
They found a weak correlation between palmitic acid and the hardness of butter. On average, softer butter had less palmitic acid, and harder butter had more palmitic acid. However, this was not always the case.
But what is So that's like a thing that holds
It's
it
like,
together.
it's like the more there is, the more it's going to be
So
tougher
So
because
are
it's
they
held
putting
together
more
harder.
of it in there now?
It's probably just the way it was formulated.
So this is the argument about whether it was the
Like on purpose or not?
the palm oil. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So
And that's what they add to it to soften it up, but it makes it cheaper because it's not
But
as much
isn't there
butter,
a whole
right?
thing about palm oil? Aren't people fucking protesting?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Am
yes.
I doing your thing?
Yeah.
Am I?
All right. Yeah.
There's a whole thing with the palm oil. You're not allowed to do that. You're killing everything and whatever.
Right. Yeah. So that is the whole thing here. It's like
So do y'all want animals or do y'all want soft butter? Because you can't have both.
right. Yeah. And like when I looked at the way the palm is taken, it's kind of off.
So my question is, does it matter that your butter is harder? Do you need to just cook it 5 minutes longer? If so, shut the fuck up and just cook it 5 minutes longer. How is it affecting them that their butter's hard?
It destroys their bread.
They're
They're spreading it.
no, they're mad because
Squishes their bread.
Well, figure
No.
it out.
Wait,
There's so
wait.
many
Wait,
ways
wait.
to easily
they're
soften
they're
butter.
mad because their butter is hard and it's palm because
It's hard because it's adulterated.
Well, do they
It's
realize
not
that
pure
if they
butter.
take away the palm, it's going to be even harder, right? Or is it just
No,
going to be liquid butter?
more palm is the polymeric
So they
acid,
want
right?
liquid butter?
no, they don't want butter derived from because it's like
It's
the
like
blood
adding margarine to
diamonds.
the
I
butter.
guess you look at
Yeah, I
And
know
it's
that
worse
that's
in the environment.
you
Yeah.
know, I mean,
a
it's
big
horrible.
thing, yeah.
They don't want it. So
Well, but if their whole thing is, then why isn't their whole argument stop putting palm in our butter instead of stop making our butter hard? I feel like they're doing it the wrong way, right?
they are doing it the wrong way.
I looked over your page and it says
They're-
Bog
they're-
Butter. I thought
yeah.
it said Bob Seger. And I was like, why
Yeah.
the fuck did you write down Bob Seger?
No, it says-
Why hasn't Turn the
No.
Page written down? What does that mean? I didn't know why the hell you were researching Bob Seger. By the way.
Well, is there any brand of butter in Canada right now who does not use palm oil?
I feel like Kerrygold does not use palm oil, even though they're Irish.
I don't give a shit if they do. I'm about to
They're
buy
the best.
some.
I think they're the best. Like, I cook with Kerrygold all the time. We're not getting paid for this. I love their fucking butter. It's the best.
I didn't even know that
Irish
was a
butter
thing.
is the best shit ever.
Country crock is still better.
No, Land O'Lakes, I can eat that shit with a spoon, son.
Fun fact, when I was a little baby, I used to eat butter with a spoon.
Hell yeah. Alright, so Canada,
Exactly.
y'all's slogan is wrong. I'm sorry. It needs to be no more palm, not softer butter, because your message isn't clear. Kelly, what else you got?
Agreed.
I don't even know what the photo said, so I don't. I feel like
Kelly's done. Please feel free to Google. I guess you could probably just Google Buttergate. If I just Google Buttergate, is that what comes up?
yes,
That is the actual term. Buttergate.
Buttergate.
All right, y'all just Google Buttergate,
Yeah.
and then y'all get on board and tell these people Buy Kerrygold.
You could do all your research into how butter is produced.
Yeah.
No, that's not what you get.
And then
Kerrygold, if you would like to send us some free butter, I would
I'll
gladly
tag
take
them
it.
in our next
I love it.
Instagram post.
It's the best shit ever. Steaks, hamburgers, anything with it. I put it on
Also,
everything.
if you're
can I
suffering
can I
from
interject
butter
what you're
day,
saying?
Absolutely.
Should we
And
offer
say
to send
country crock.
people butter?
Oh, yeah.
My friend
so
is lactose intolerant. Country Crock. If you would like to
Canadian
donate,
listeners-
also.
Well, I don't know.
I mean,
how you go
I
about
will use you
sending
too.
butter.
I'm not too proud. I will use
Canadian
Country Crock if I
listeners,
have to.
would
It's not a
love
problem.
to
It's still
offer
good.
To mail
not
you
Kerrygold,
some
but it's good.
butter, except for I don't know that I can mail butter.
You
so,
cannot mail butter.
Yeah.
Just take that as
I feel
like,
like.
You can mail
hopes
butter.
I
and-
think it would get too
How
hot.
do
It would
you
absolutely
do
melt
that?
the truck.
I can't just stick it in a box though and send it. Like it'll be melted by the time it gets there. How do you fucking
Insulated packaging.
Yeah, you can
Ice
send that
packs
shit
in
like
it.
You gotta put ice. No, I'm not paying for ice packs. So
you know, like our
thoughts
fish,
on brand.
like the
for
fish
ice
and the
pack.
final thoughts on butter. What we got?
I got no thoughts.
Oh, we have some more stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, we already did final
tell
thoughts.
people
Holy shit!
You
You
did
did
that.
final thoughts on
But
butter.
nobody stopped me,
Because-
and I get that.
But
This-
you
I
did
did do it
final
on just
thoughts
butter. I get it.
on
I
butter.
get it
Final thoughts
now.
on
I know.
butter.
I know. I'm hearing it back in my head now.
So my topic is somewhat related to the dairy industry and the U.S. government. So there's this whole thing that dairy products in general are not actually super healthy for you, and there's some studies that say about 60% of people can't even digest cow's milk.
I'm gonna
In
interrupt
general.
and tell you that me and you were talking about that earlier. So I know Matt over here is lactose intolerant. A lot of the world is lactose intolerant. I feel like the whole fucking world should be lactose intolerant because we are not fucking cows and we should not be drinking cows' fucking milk. Like,
This is a small subset of people from a north.
I feel
Western
like we're
Europe.
weirdos because we can tolerate some other animals.
You're like the most
Boob
lactose.
juice.
You're the most lactose tolerant because you're redheaded and Scottish.
I love me some milk.
You're
I can drink that shit
basically,
by the gallon,
like,
dude. That's just so good.
That whole tribe group of people
But-
are why people are lactose
So-
intolerant. Basically,
Keep going.
You have to survive on it.
I don't
in the winter.
know if these studies are worldwide or just in the United States because this article.
I think it's United States because worldwide it's less than 10%. It's really
Yeah.
low.
So, if it is just United States, up to 60% of people are they can't process cow's milk. There are some studies that show that people who do consume large amounts of dairy products have a higher risk of fracturing bones and dying prematurely.
Wait. How much cheese is too much cheese?
I don't
Any
know,
amount of cheese is too much cheese.
but I've broken a lot of bones, and it's probably related to how much cheese I
But see, now
consume.
that's weird because I always heard. So where else do you get?
Hold on,
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm getting there.
You're getting there. I'm sorry.
So,
Calcium mafia.
you know, the whole got milk ads,
Mhm.
apparently those were funded by the U.S. government. And, they tell you that milk is healthy, and they're pushing, dairy products and milk, strong bones, all that bullshit. Here?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that because we don't have cable, I have not seen a TV commercial in fucking years. Are milk commercials still a thing? Is the got milk thing?
The last
still a
ones I
thing?
remember seeing was Miley Cyrus did one like 10, 15 years ago. That was the last big campaign I remember seeing.
Okay.
People have been noticing that the consumption of more vegan options for dairy products has started to increase over the last decade or so. Like silk and almond milk and shit like that instead of actual cow's milk. People think that they call it big dairy, right?
Oh, yeah, it's big
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
It's big
it's-
dairy, big
so-
tobacco, big pharma, big dairy.
So Big Dairy's roots go back to World War One. The government wanted to buy a bunch of like powdered milk and shit like that and send it to troops overseas because add a little water, you got milk, whatever. And they ended up buying like a whole fuck ton of it. And the war ended, and now they're just sitting on all this shit. What are they gonna do with it? So that's when they really started pushing it out. Oh, milk's super healthy. Everybody drink milk, 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 milk. And like government cheese and shit like that.
I was about to mention
So-
government cheese.
They started just doing whatever they could to get rid of this shit because they got tons and tons and tons of unwanted dairy products that are just going to spoil. Well, I mean, the powdered milk's not really going to spoil, but, cheese and shit will.
Yeah.
So that's when they really started pushing it to schools and more usage in military, like MREs and shit like that. Started, using more of the powdered dairy products. But still, even after that, most of this stuff just sat in, like, underground warehouses. They were just trying to make it last as long as it could while they were working on getting rid of it. By the 80s, the U.S. government was spending $2 billion a year paying for this unwanted milk. A lot of people were kind of pissed off because $2 billion, on dairy products that we're not even really using, we're just storing away for whatever fucking reason. Ronald Reagan actually stepped up and he was like, no more money. We're not funding that. That's bullshit. So a lot of these farmers and stuff, whenever the government was buying up like all the dairy products, a lot of people converted their farms over to be dairy farms because that's where the money was at. And if the government's paying, $2 billion a year, why not cash in and get you some? So whenever Ronald Reagan stepped up and he's like, no, the government's not paying for this anymore. That's bullshit. We got all of it sitting in a warehouse. We're not using it. We can't get rid of it fast enough. A lot of people started losing money. Now they got dairy farms and nobody's buying because they overproduced on product. So a lot of the bigger farms and bigger dairy companies started buying politicians, because that's the way the fucking world works.
Yeah.
Slide some money in a politician's pocket, pass a bill, whatever. In 1983, there was the Dairy Production Stabilization Act, and that's where they passed a mandatory fee that dairy farms had to pay, and the money that the government collected went into advertising to push dairy products on the general public. And that's when you started seeing a lot of the got milk ads and shit like that. They're putting all this money into advertising and studies and shit like that, making everybody think dairy products are super healthy to make you buy it so they can start getting rid of the shit they got in these warehouses. And the USDA, which for anybody outside the United States is the United States Department of Agriculture, the people that set the nutritional guidelines, the food pyramid and all that bullshit, they were also in charge of, and they are the people specifically that made the got milk ads. So they were in charge of a multi-million-dollar advertising campaign designed to push cow's milk onto the public. The government was giving them money, like, here, make ads, get rid of this shit. And, everybody now says that was just propaganda. Whenever the USDA stepped up and started making more ads, they also started finding new ways to incorporate dairy products in your everyday foods, potato chips and stuff like that. Even tomato sauce contains milk. Why you got milk in your fucking tomato sauce?
That's weird. I didn't know that there was milk in tomato
I've
sauce.
actually read the back of some tomato sauce labels, and there's milk.
I never fucking read ingredients.
So they were doing that to get rid of this shit, you know, fucking put it in everything.
I feel like, I know you're talking mainly about milk. Why do I feel like at some point in my lifetime I was told by some adults, possibly at school, that there was like a Fort Knox that just had cheese in it? Is that a thing?
Yeah, the underground warehouses where they're storing these dairy products. So the USDA also formed partnerships with corporations like a lot of your fast food joints, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Domino's, and shit like that, and paid them to create dairy-heavy menus so that they could, use up the shit. According to this article, I'm not sure how accurate it is because they don't really say anything to back up this one part of it. But it says, and it doesn't surprise me because this shit happens every day anyways, but it says even today the dairy industry still spends millions of dollars to pay off politicians to protect their interests anytime there's any kind of review for the National Nutritional Guidelines. Anytime the government wants to review the nutritional guidelines, they're paying off these people. Make sure we include dairy.
Do you know what those?
Make sure milk, yeah. According to this, as of currently, the government still, and the USDA, they produce all this data. The government's still sitting on $1.4 billion of surplus cheese. That's pretty
Can't make
much
a whole
it.
bunch of milk because it goes bad too quick. But
The dairy industry is in cahoots with the government, telling everybody that milk is healthy when research clearly shows that it's not as healthy as we
And I don't
believe.
even think it needs scientific research. I mean, I think that just normal people would think, like, I would never just
I
go
don't-
out and drink squirrel milk.
I-
You know why? Because I'm not a squirrel baby.
I
Like,
do.
I mean,
I do question that research though, because how do you? What's your baseline?
what is
Because everybody's different.
what is the first recorded time that anybody ever had milk?
Probably a long ass fucking time ago.
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, why? Like, why did somebody
in the
just
in the
go
winter,
out
you
and
can't
go,
get meat, and if you kill the animals that produce the milk, you have no animals for later. But if you drink their milk, you can get through the winter, and then they can produce
I don't know that
babies.
drinking milk
during
will
season.
get you through a winter with
It
no food.
happen-
I don't think that that's
That
a
and
real
cheese
thing.
and other things you've saved up absolutely can. But if you have nothing, that's the whole reason a whole bunch of people are lactose tolerant.
Can I
And
go to bed?
You're going to bed before mine? That's fine. I'll finish with that.
we've been drinking for like 4 solid hours now.
I'll go to bed. Can I go to bed?
You can go to bed. I'll walk
Oh,
you
yeah.
there. I'm gonna do like a shot, and I'm gonna come back and do mine. Is that all right?
Do you want to just do your short one real quick?
Oh,
And
you want to listen to my short one?
What, you got a thing?
I've got 2 things.
just
You're
do.
leaving me-
I'll say just do the short one.
Alright, yeah. Alright, wait. Yeah. Alright.
All right. So I did the Dairy Queen in Greenwood, South Carolina. So that is semi-local to us. Back in August
Fucking
of
Dairy Queen.
do what?
I said fucking Dairy Queen.
Yeah, fuck it. I used to work at Dairy Queen, but whatever. I didn't work at this one. But back in August of 2019 in Greenwood, South Carolina, the local Dairy Queen got accused of serving human meat in their burgers. So apparently the FBI raided this Dairy Queen. And, you know, it's Greenwood, South Carolina. There's not that many people, so they're like, holy shit, it's fucking FBI here. What the hell is going on? Nobody knows. The local paper, which is called the Index Journal, was told by the manager of this Dairy Queen that a corporate inspector had informed him that there was a complaint involving human meat being found inside a burger.
How would he know though?
Well, because corporate called him and was like, hey, man, there's been a
How does
complaint
the
that
guy
there's...
know it was human meat?
Yeah,
Has
that's
he
what I'm
had
saying.
human
Oh,
meat
the guy
before?
that found it? Yeah.
Like,
if it's cooked.
Right.
I
I know this is human meat. How? Well, I mean, it was different. Like, how?
Yeah,
what are
I
you
mean,
gonna say?
I don't know how that guy knew, but anyway. So the Index Journal, that's this paper. They went so far as to interview a local coroner, and they were like, "Hey, man, so like apparently they're eating fucking people burgers over here at the goddamn Dairy Queen." Well, this local coroner, he says that there is little to no chance of anything like that ever being able to happen. He's like, that's just not a fucking thing. Like,
Has
people-
he seen Texas Chainsaw Massacre
well,
2?
and that was my first thought. So then today I Googled and just tried to find
Fried green tomatoes.
if this has ever actually happened.
Yeah,
I
there's
could
a
not
serial
find
killer
anything.
that served people to other people as at a barbecue side thing.
But that was like a food truck. This is like an established place.
Crazy people work everywhere though.
But they're saying that I guess the texture would be different, and I was trying to think about that too.
Yeah,
so,
I've heard it's like pork, but
like
I don't know.
like even if some psycho snuck in a bunch of human meat, then the cook would never be able to get the burgers to stick together because it would have to be just straight up human, and he would just have to not realize it. It turns out that there were no people burgers. It was apparently money laundering.
Oh, okay.
Which is the most boring thing ever. And it wasn't just the Dairy Queen that got raided. It was also a convenience store and a home nearby. Side note, this money laundering, it wasn't even really money laundering through the Dairy Queen. For whatever reason, the Dairy Queen did not lock their safe. And this guy, for whatever reason, had access to Dairy Queen after hours. So he was hiding his unlaundered money in the unlocked Dairy Queen safe.
That defeats the purpose of a safe.
And they came out, even the authorities are like, y'all, there are no fucking people burgers here. There's no fucking people burgers here. Well, Twitter gave zero shits about that, and they ran with the Dairy Queen People Burger conspiracy. So, on August 23rd, 2019, Matthew Hensley, who is the editor for the Index Journal, he wrote the original article about the People Burgers. He tweeted, fucking Dairy Queen. He goes, "Hey, Dairy Queen, do y'all use human meat at your Greenwood, South Carolina location?" And Dairy Queen responded, "Hi, Matthew. At Dairy Queen, we are very proud of our 100% beef hamburgers. We serve a high-quality hamburger with no additives or fillers."
They could have at least been like
I mean, they were not
Wendy's
even,
and-
and that pisses me off too, because nowadays, brands are very, active or whatever on social media, and they'll fucking say some bullshit. This was only 2 years ago, and that's all they could say.
I mean, if y'all ever
that's
seen
fucking
Denny's
sus.
blog, that shit is crazy.
At the end of the day,
And it's hilarious.
everybody's just trying to keep up with Wendy's though, because they're the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
Oh,
best.
theirs is even better. Holy shit, yes.
Yeah,
But-
they would clap back at anybody.
Wendy's is goddamn awesome.
So I actually reached out to Matthew Hensley, and I didn't speak to him today, but I emailed with him today. So he was fine with me using his quote. I asked him if he had anything that he would like to add, and he wanted to say, and I quote, "This might be the most outlandish rumor I have encountered in my 13 years as a journalist." And he sent us a link to, he apparently wrote an article after this about how stupid this shit was. And it's titled, "Matthew Hensley, Donner, Party of One." And the very first line is, "Call it a meaty scoop." And then I'm going to post the link to this article in our show notes or whatever, because it is fucking amazing.
Goddamn
guy is-
Oscar Wilde damn wordplay there. That was great. I
that
love
guy,
it.
and he's super chill. Like, he talked to me a couple times. Like, he's super chill, so I liked him a whole lot. But I just thought it was cool. This Greenwood, which we're Greenville, but Greenwood is not far. I work with people who live in Greenwood, so I'm still going to say
30
that
minute
it's,
drive, not even.
yeah, I mean, it's
30
It
still,
takes me
minutes,
20
not
minutes to get to
bad.
work.
It's
That's
Shit.
where I went to school.
it's local
Green-
to us.
Greenwood's like 45 to an hour.
That's a little bit farther. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, either
It's,
way.
it's not horrible.
Either way,
yeah.
it's
Yeah, it's
still
it's
local
driving
to us,
distance,
and that
yeah.
was just my favorite thing. I mean, they just decided, they were just like, well, the FBI's there, it's got to be People Burgers. And then the manager to say, well, corporate told me there was human meat in our burger. Final thoughts.
I feel like butter is the same hardness. I haven't noticed a difference.
I
And
haven't, but it's because I don't
love
cook.
Kerrygold. Love Kerrygold.
Kerrygold.
All day long.
Country crock, fuck you.
Like, are there have any old timers come up in Canada and been like, man, I remember back in my day that butter was just so soft, and
Yeah, but
who is it that's bitching?
are those people so old that they also used to churn their own butter to where it would naturally have been soft anyways because
Well,
no additives?
is that a thing we should bring back? Should we start churning our own butter again? How hard is it? I don't know. You ever churn butter?
I have churned butter.
How long does it take to churn?
Not as long as you would think.
So
And it's actually pretty fucking delicious too. Yeah.
would you be willing to churn your own butter?
I don't consume enough butter to where it makes a difference to me.
Right, like I would just give up butter entirely. Like I don't give a fuck about butter.
I would give up my actual usage of butter, but I would not give up the usage of butter in products that I buy.
Oh yeah.
Because I still want butter.
You
but
just
if I
don't
gotta
have
put
to
in-
deal with butter.
If I got to put in a bunch of work to get it, nah, I'll pass.
Yeah. So this is a corporate problem. Y'all
So-
need to figure out.
I don't know if there's anything going on with the butter.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious. All right, so I guess that's all we got for dairy conspiracies. Anybody else got anything? Well, we got a promo, you guys, and this week it is Ray, fabulous fucking Ray from Not Before Coffee.
I thought you were about to say Raid Shadow Legends.
No.
I'm so tired of seeing their ads on every YouTube video.
Is that a thing? What
That
is
is
that?
a thing. It's
Is
a
that
game.
Like a game? I'm not a gamer, so.
But apparently they just like want their ads on every YouTuber's videos now, so you'll watch like 10 promos.
Does it look like a good game? Like, would you play it?
I wouldn't, but it doesn't look like the kind of game I'm into anyway, so.
Well, here's Ray from Not Before Coffee.
Hi, I'm Ray, avid reader, film fan, long-term depression sufferer, and caffeine addict. Whether you're a big reader or just love to watch romantic comedies, in this podcast, I cover both. Mondays are all about the books I've been reading, anything from murder mysteries to mythology and science fiction. On Thursdays, I am tugging at the strings holding rom-coms together. Are they full of stereotypes? What makes them fun? And I'm always looking for suggestions. On Thursdays, I also talk about my lifetime of experience with various mental health diagnoses and how I cope with them on a daily basis. So, where does the coffee come in, you may be asking? Well, I can't function on any day of the week before I've had my third cup of the dark roasted bean. Welcome to the interesting world that is my brain, with every single episode of Not Before Coffee. You can find it wherever you get your podcast fix.
We're done. All right, so thank y'all for listening to our Dairy Conspiracies episode. Thank you, Zace Face, for coming up with this, because this is super fun for me to research. I don't know about y'all, but that shit was fun as hell for me.
I had fun.
Surprisingly, I didn't think there was going to be that much into dairy.
Well, I knew there was a lot, but I figured it was going to be all just like boring or super bad.
I did my research when I sat down and still had a fairly decent topic.
That was amazing.
That's how easy it was to find dairy conspiracies.
And also, White Russians are a thing. I feel like, I guess Zace Face has never had a White Russian. You just have one. They're pretty good. Kelly's already went to bed and come back confused about why she was in bed. So.
Who is Zachi Fachi?
Yeah.
I've never even
Oh, that's
heard
right.
that name.
We're calling you Zachi Fachi now. So, thank you, Zachi Fachi. Thank everybody for listening. We love y'all.
Sure.
We are Drunk Theory.
We are Drunk Theory, and I guess we'll be back with
Love y'all.
whatever the hell Kelly's at. Lean in. You got to lean in.
Yeah.
We did the whole thing.
Love y'all.
There you go.
Fuck y'all, Big Butter.
See you in a couple weeks.
Bye.
They're getting